everybody. Welcome. Glad you decided to join us. We've got some serious business to address today. Looks like Russianvids is up to no good again. On February 19th, a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket, with a Dragon spacecraft on top, launched from NASA's Kennedy Space Center. This seems to have gotten Russianvids very upset. Let's see what he's going on about, shall we?
Like always, I'm covering the fakery by SpaceX.
The fakery by SpaceX. Alright. I'm sure he's going to have some evidence for that.
I mean, it's a complete joke what they're doing, but of course, the mindless zombies, the fanboys of SpaceX are going to buy this garbage without question.
Wow, sounds like he's serious about this. I bet he's got some really convincing evidence. Oh well, let's wait and see.
They question absolutely nothing that is presented on TV, just like I've shown many times with this quote from former President Richard Nixon. The American people don't believe anything until they see it on television.
Right, Nixon. Got it. Okay, tell us about SpaceX. Tell us about the fakery. Come on.
That's what it all comes down to. And for those that don't understand the whole entire concept of this complete lie, this complete garbage.
Ooh, okay. Sounds like he's getting ready to give us some evidence. This could be great.
SpaceX supposedly launches a reusable rocket into space. In doing so, they released a Dragon capsule.
Yes, they do. And?
Satellites. And of course, with this supposed last mission that took place, was it 2 days ago?
Supposed last mission? It was the last mission.
Basically resupplying, supposedly, of course, the ISS, which does not exist.
ISS doesn't exist. Of course it exists. I've seen it move across the sky. I've spoken to astronauts who've spent time on the space station. Back to SpaceX, okay?
And the reusable rocket supposedly comes back down for a landing.
Yes, that's kind of what makes it reusable. Wouldn't be very reusable if it didn't do that, now would it?
Just like like a pencil.
I've never seen a pencil do that.
Let's take a look at this footage. It's a complete joke. And before doing so, this is the only vantage point that you're going to get. You're not going to get any other amateur footage.
I'm sorry, that's not correct. You can get some excellent amateur footage over at Astronomy Live channel. I will put a link to his video in the description. Take a look.
This one shot, of course, by SpaceX released. Let's break this all down here. Let's take a look. As basically the cylinder rocket comes down. I mean, this is... just look at it come through the clouds.
Kind of has to come through the clouds, doesn't it?
What a freaking joke. This cylinder, like a pencil...
Already covered. Pencils don't do that.
Coming down for this vertical landing. I mean, let's get a close-up look at this garbage. One thing I want to point out, you do not see, basically as it falls out of the sky like a rock, you don't see the use of any type of vertical stabilizer. It's just dropping like a rock.
Maybe like a powered, guided rock, I suppose. And as for where you were waving your mouse pointer around the upper area of the rocket, I don't know what you were expecting to see there. If you were expecting to see flames from rocket thrusters in that area, I'm sorry to disappoint you. That particular rocket uses cold gas thrusters. Those, in addition to the grid fins, are what it uses for steering.
Explain to me, how is this possible? Just by sheer luck? By chance?
And by use of the grid fins and the cold gas thrusters.
Somehow, this cylinder rocket comes down for a successful landing, supposedly.
Oh, not supposedly, it pretty much did. It was witnessed, as you say, on television. It was also witnessed live by many people, some of whom recorded it.
This is nothing more than fakery, nothing more than CGI garbage.
Oh, there's something new. Russianvids yelling CGI whenever he sees something he doesn't like. Mind telling me how CGI was used to affect what all the live witnesses saw?
That's all this is. I mean, where's the amateur footage of this supposed landing taking place? Of course, it's not going to be available.
Already covered. Link in description.
Again, all we get is SpaceX and their official so-called release footage.
And the NASA footage. And Astronomy Live's footage.
It's a complete insult, a complete joke. Let's take even a closer look at this complete garbage CGI.
Again, this would be CGI that affected what live on-site witnesses saw. That kind of CGI.
I mean, it's so easy to fool people. Millions upon millions of zombies, specifically SpaceX fanboys, fall for this.
Alright, you've made a bunch of assertions and stated some things that were demonstrably false. Are you going to provide any evidence for this?
And of course, who heads up this deception?
Don't say Freemason, don't say Freemason, don't say Freemason.
It's Elon Musk, this Mason.
Ah, shit.
And as I pointed out many times, nothing more than a deceiver. Just like everybody else that makes the top of this world stage, deceiving the public. Try to help out and explain to these knuckleheads that do not understand they're being deceived. They just want to worship these frauds and liars.
Okay, ad hominems and assertions without evidence. Is there going to be any evidence that the SpaceX launch was falsified? Anything at all? There's got to be some coming, right?
It's all about Masonry, like I showed before real quick with Falcon 9. Again, all about the 33 when it comes to Freemasonry. And of course, the knucklehead fanboys of SpaceX, they know nothing about Masonry.
And Russianvids has it all figured out, and to do so, he made use of Numerology Calculator version 2.1. Interesting, that.
It's all about deception. Like I pointed out with the 33, the highest degree in the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, just like in India. With, of course, Freemasonry being a worldwide enterprise with the supposed launch of the PSLV C-37, supposedly launching 104 satellites into space. Give me a break. You're going to fit 104 satellites in this thing?
Actually, yes, considering most of the satellites in question were nanosatellites, dove satellites, and lemur satellites. They generally weigh in at under 10 kilograms.
I don't think so. Where are they all going to fit? Not going to fit in this thing.
Ooh, assertion without evidence. Who didn't see that coming?
Complete joke how people buy this. And again, the whole entire concept, like I mentioned earlier, with SpaceX Falcon 9. The reason they come with the concept of this name, Falcon, as in it's a con job.
Bit of a stretch there, jackass.
And of course, like I stated, all about getting the number 33 fit in with their Masonic deception. Same entire concept with the PSLV C-37 to get your 33.
I was a little curious about this numerology witch doctor fuckery, so I took a look into it. Apparently, the letters, as shown here, are each assigned a value of 1 through 8. What you're supposed to do is add up the numerical value of the vowels and the consonants in the word that you're looking at. But that's not the last step. What you're supposed to do next is take each individual digit from that number and add them together to hopefully come up with a single digit output. If you do not, you do it again. The following is an example of this. Let's pick a completely random word. How about pug? When we look at the numerology calculator, we find in the data entry line, it says 17/8. Now, this is meant to be the output line. We find in the word pug that we have one vowel with a value of 6. We have two consonants with values of 3 and 8, which add up to 11. The resultant number from the vowels and the resultant number from the consonants are added together. 11 plus 6 equals 17. Again, this is not the output number. In numerology, double-digit sums are reduced by simply adding the two digits together. The process is continued until the result is a single-digit number. So in this case, in the data entry line, the 1 and the 7 are added together for a resultant output of 8. Alright, so everybody knows that pugs are not overly fond of magical, hoodoo, hippy-dippy, pseudoscience bullshit, so why am I telling you all this? Well, the reason is so I could demonstrate that Shit for Brains here is not just using pseudoscience, he's using pseudoscience wrong. The significant number, in this case, is the 6, not the 33. In numerology, you're supposed to reduce the 33 by adding the 3 and the 3 to get 6. In other words, if a 33 had appeared in any row or column in this calculator, Shit for Brains would have gotten all excited and said, Freemasons confirmed.
Before breaking down the fakery of the latest so-called launch into space by SpaceX to resupply the ISS, I want to break this footage down as I've shown before.
Alright, this is it. He's finally going to give us some evidence, or something that he thinks is evidence. Here it comes.
With this launch by SpaceX, the Falcon 9, nothing more than a very expensive firework. Sped up the footage just for the sake of saving time. You're going to believe that this Falcon 9 is actually going to outer space. No wonder why you're deceived. If you really believe the Falcon 9 is going to low Earth orbit, going around the so-called ball of Earth, after watching this footage, you got to start asking some questions. How small is the so-called ball of Earth? As you see here, I'm going to back this up. Look at the angle it's coming down right here. Okay, let me back this up. Okay, so you're launched right here from Cape Canaveral, Florida. Okay, let's take a look here. Let's speed it up. What is the distance of this arch to where it starts coming down?
Starts coming down? What the hell are you talking about?
Okay, again, supposedly going down and around the ball Earth to make its low Earth orbit before going to space. This is nothing more than, again, expensive firework coming down into the ocean.
And do you have any evidence whatsoever of it coming down in the ocean? Any videos of it coming down in the ocean? Does this video show it coming down in the ocean? I'm leaning towards no.
That's why they launched these rockets by the ocean. You see absolutely nothing. It's disintegrating.
I don't see any disintegrating going on. I see perhaps it going into a cloud layer.
Okay, this is not going around the so-called ball Earth. Okay, there you go. There's your hopes and dreams of going into space, going up in thin air. Okay, that's all you have. What they do is, back this up here a little bit. All they do is show this, again, expensive firework being launched and crashing into the ocean.
Where do you see, in the video that you are providing as evidence, where do you see any crashing into the ocean going on?
And all they do is, they get footage. They edit in footage of them supposedly going to outer space.
And I guess they edit, the sky, so that all the people watching from their backyards see the same thing you're describing.
Now, let's take a look at this other footage, the official footage. Now, this was amateur footage, of course.
Pretty sure you said there was no amateur footage of any of this. Furthermore, how did the Freemasons at NASA edit this amateur footage? When did they get their hands on it?
You don't get much of it, but here's an example. Now, here's official footage released by SpaceX. I'm going to speed this up. Take a look at the arch that comes, again, back straight down.
Okay, you're saying it's straight down, but the video that you yourself have chosen to demonstrate this does not show it going straight down. As a matter of fact, it shows it going up.
It's not going around the so-called ball Earth into space. It's going straight down.
Not the one in that video of yours.
Okay, you see that arch, that angle it's taking. Again, how small is the ball Earth? If it's going to go out at this angle, then all of a sudden it goes down, again, straight down.
Boy, if only repeating something over and over made it true.
No way it's going around the so-called ball Earth. Now, I showed these images before. This one photo out of an airplane window over Dubai, the world's tallest building. You see absolutely no curve whatsoever. You see a flat horizon.
Limited field of view. You see a very small arc of the curve, so it appears flat.
So people want to, talk about, oh, the Earth is so vast, it's so large. You cannot see the so-called curve of the ball Earth, the so-called curvature. But again, you want to rationalize this?
There's really nothing to rationalize. There are two effects at work here. One is we know rockets do not go straight up into space. They follow the curvature of the Earth, increasing in speed and altitude until they reach orbit. Second, there's that term you guys like to throw around when it's convenient for you and avoid it when it's not, which is perspective. It's getting farther away from you. These two effects together can give the impression that the rocket is in fact not going off into space. Things are not always what they appear. Sometimes you have to look at the surrounding circumstances.
At this angle, again, how small is the curvature of the Earth? Can't have it both ways. Just like I shown before with the skyline over New York City. This is with a standard camera, no curvature.
Try it with more altitude and a wider field of view. The results will be much different.
Okay? Then you get this. Okay, why do you get this? Oh, the so-called, look at, we live on a ball Earth. Here's your proof, here's your evidence. That's because they use a fisheye lens camera to get the false perspective. This is how you get your false reality. Look at this ball. Look how it's bent and twisted, just like the flat Earth is bent and twisted to get your false perspective.
That picture is an excellent example of someone making use of a fisheye lens. This, however, does not mean that all pictures make use of a fisheye lens.
Reminds me of this quote by Henry Kissinger, no hero but speaking the absolute truth. It's not a matter of what is true that counts, but a matter of what is perceived to be true.
And this is evidence of what precisely?
Now I'm going to break down the SpaceX employees' coverage of their fraudulent launch into space. I mean, these people here, just basically a young cast of characters, these actors. Look at this guy. He looks like a Backstreet Boy reject, just pimping the idea of space. Nothing more than horse, nothing more than sellouts when it all comes down to. Some might say I'm being a bit harsh, but I have no sympathy for these liars.
I don't think you're being harsh. I think that was a combination of ad hominems and making shit up.
They know they're taking part in deception. So again, absolutely zero sympathy. Let's take a look here at some of this footage. I'm not going to break it all down. Just get to the main point.
Wait a minute. That's it for the employees? I thought you had something to say about the employees. You just made fun of the way they look and now you're moving on? Dick.
And as always, I talk about having good discernment, picking apart the details. I'm going to break it all down. First off, notice how overcast, cloudy it is in the sky.
Yeah, leave it to NASA and the Freemasons to bring in clouds, huh?
Let's watch this garbage launch here. Again, I'll break it all down. Again, pay attention to all the clouds, all the cloud cover. Overcast, raining. Now watch what you're going to see here. Again, this is how they do it. It's all about editing. Just like a movie. They cut from one scene. I'm not saying it's not a real launch, of course. Again, nothing more than expensive firework. Now take a look at what's coming up here. Just in a moment. You're going to get, again, just nothing more than an edit right here coming up.
Be proceeding into kicking over for our inertial pitch. As we're dragging it this
Now take a look here. What happened on the cloud cover?
I don't know. Educational graphic, perhaps?
Watch this. Again, nothing more than just an edit, like a Hollywood movie.
Now what you are seeing is a view from the inside of the second stage.
You hear all the fanboys and fangirls in the back. Yep, there's all the... Yeah, there's all your cloud cover.
Yes, and look there. Looks like those cold gas thrusters firing. You know, the ones you didn't know about earlier.
Where was it earlier, like I showed? Give me a break.
Stage separation.
It's like a garbage bag here.
We have a
Doesn't matter what it looks like. It's not a garbage bag.
second stage engine start. You can see the first stage is on its way back for its first maneuver burn.
You gotta show,
Burn process.
of course, the
Burn coming
angle
up.
of the so-called ball of Earth.
Or the boost back burn, sorry.
It goes back.
Meanwhile, the second stage is continuing to perform nominally. Got a 6-minute burn.
Fast forward here to the knuckleheads.
We had a successful main engine cutoff, a
Yeah.
successful stage separation, and then
at
a
this
successful
garbage.
second engine start. It was a little cloudy for the Falcon 9 coming off the pad, so we didn't get a great view of it, but it looks like we have a fantastic view of
Yeah.
the second stage engine nozzle and the surface of the Earth right now.
Yeah, so you guys probably saw it as we did. I don't know about you, but I got chills seeing the booster fall
Got chills watching a movie. That's all you get chills from.
away from from the engine. And
Yeah. She knows it's all garbage.
You know, we're quite a ways into this, and all we've gotten so far are the traditional Russianvids evidence. Look how fake this is. Oh, you know this is fake. Oh, CGI. Is there to be any evidence coming whatsoever, or is this just more of the traditional Russianvids bullshit?
They all know.
towards Earth and rotating like a great shot.
And here's your Backstreet Boy reject.
To get back to landing zone 1, there's the boost back burn, which successfully completed. Then there's the re-entry burn, which is to slow us down as we go back through the atmosphere. And then there's the ever-exciting landing burn as we approach landing zone 1.
Yeah, right. Now I'm gonna fast forward here, get to this one point where I saw something that's completely ridiculous. Like everything else with SpaceX. And again, it's about the details that the 99% don't look at. That's why, again, they're easily to see. Take a look at this clown here, trying to pass off like he's getting some type of communication through an earpiece. The problem is, he has no earpiece. Take a look.
The Dragon doesn't just go straight to the International Space Station. It actually slowly approaches over a series of
Watch
days.
this.
So we won't actually be getting there today, but once Dragon separates from the International Space Station, it will be slowly executing a series of burn maneuvers, getting it closer and closer. And we actually just got confirmation that we have a good orbit for second stage.
Just got confirmation. Okay, let's take a closer look here at the confirmation through his earpiece. Again, the details. Take a look.
We actually just got confirmation that we have a good orbit for second stage.
And that's wonderful.
I'll take a look. Where's the earpiece? He just got confirmation. He's just reading off a freaking script.
What the hell is wrong with you? Neither he nor anyone around him claimed that he got any information through an earpiece. He touched his ear. Could he have perhaps just gotten confirmation from one of the huge screens they have all over the place? Does it have to be through a headpiece because he touched his ear?
This is what a complete insult. If you have a brain in your head, you don't have to believe me, but just start questioning things. Take a look from a neutral perspective. Just take a look at where is the earpiece? Where does confirmation come from?
Big screen on the wall, green light on a desk, flashing sign that says confirmation. Nobody said anything about an earpiece but you moron.
Okay, take a look once again. Where he holds his ear. There's nothing there.
There's an ear there. Maybe a fly landed on it. Again, You're the only one bitching about an earpiece.
We actually just got confirmation that we have a good orbit for second stage.
More like just confirmation that you're a fraud and a liar.
You know, I was going to say assertion without evidence, but why would I even need to say that? That's all he's done through this whole video. That's all Russianvids ever does. Instead of saying that long phrase, assertion without evidence, we could shorten that up just by saying Russianvids, couldn't we?
Complete insult. Nothing about SpaceX and all these so-called space missions add up. But again, people don't question these things. You get your overcast sky, and you get this garbage footage. Okay, not a single cloud in the sky.
Pretty sure that's an informational graphic to let you know what's going on. I'm surprised I have to tell you. You know what? What the hell am I saying? No, I'm not.
It all boils down to, it all comes down to, is the masses through generation have been deceived by those that own and control this world. People don't like to hear the truth because they don't want their illusions destroyed. People are born into this world full of nothing but deception, and unfortunately they die not knowing they've been deceived their whole entire lives. Just like this quote I showed before from former German philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer, every truth passes through 3 stages. First, it's ridiculed. Secondly, it's violently opposed. And third, it is regarded as self-evident. You know, hopefully, SpaceX fanboys, NASA fanboys, ISS fanboys that believe in all this garbage that you're being fed, you're going to wake up, stop being played for a fool, and realize what's taking place. Unfortunately, there are going to be those that are going to rage. They're so in love with the lie, they can't get past it. They don't want to admit they've been fooled, they've been bamboozled, they've been tricked into this deception. Too much ego, too much pride. They're not interested in truth. They're interested in preserving their false reality they've been fed, not only from SpaceX, but all the other fake news stories throughout the years. You believe the fake news that you've been fed your whole entire life. Basically, your life is nothing more than a false reality.
Alright, that was a minute and a half of word salad that has absolutely dick to do with SpaceX. Are you going to come to a point?
And again, there are going to be people out there that are going to rage and get upset. And this is for you people out there. Take a look.
Mister, you don't understand. Science is your education, you freaking retard, my stupid videos. What you about sloppy? I don't sloppy videos, you stupid retard videos that you make. Does everybody know that you can't show this again? You stop showing these things right now.
It is so frustrating refuting crap from Russianvids. Because he never says anything. There's nothing to refute. It's just assertion, 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 because change of topic. And here's what he displays at the end of his videos. Geez, I wonder why. And in case you missed some of the good ones, here's the best of evidence list from Russianvids. Well, I'd like to thank you all for joining us once again. And I hope you all, I was about to say I hope you all enjoyed this, but it was Russianvids, so I won't say that. Anyway, thank you all for coming. We certainly do appreciate it.